Hello there, Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. Welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS test. This is Sane Abniali, your examiner. I'll conduct your speaking test from right now at Practice Hobbygunch. It has three parts. I'll instruct you for each, okay?
Yes,
So let's
sir.
start.
Yes,
May I see your ID?
yes, here it is. Have a look.
Here you go.
Thank you.
What's your full name?
My full name is Mohammad Maruf Rahman. I hope you will address me as Maruf because that's my first name.
Okay, Maruf. For part one, I'll ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Okay?
Yes, sir.
What do you do in your free time?
In my free time, I do several things, including playing with my niece and nephews, watch movies on YouTube. On the other hand, I sometimes help my mother in cooking.
Okay. Do you work or study?
Currently, I am a student. I just completed my HEC examination from Bindavan Government University, and now I am doing my IELTS course at Praxis Hobbygonj for my preparation of IELTS.
Okay. Do you live in a house or apartment?
Actually, I live in an apartment which is two-story building. I live here. I have been living here for 2 years with my mother, and we are living here with a lot of facilities.
Okay. Let's talk about art. Do you
Yes.
like art?
Definitely, I'm a big fan of art because it allows me to express my emotions and creativity. In my free time, I love painting, or sometimes I visit some exhibitions which is located near my house to show other people's work.
Okay. Do you think that art should be taught in schools?
Definitely, I believe that art should be taught in school because art encourages children to be more imaginative and think outside the box. For example, I still remember when I was in school, I was really enjoying my art classes because that allows me to express my ideas.
Okay. How does learning art help children to develop?
Well, learning art helps children to develop because it's a beautiful way to improve their creativity, problem solving skills, the motor skills, and so on. For example, when a children asks to draw a painting of a jungle, then he or she can learn about the animals, the nature, the surroundings, also how they arrange the objects on the paper.
Okay. If you were a famous painter, what sort of pictures should you paint?
It's an interesting question for me. If I were a prominent painter, I would paint nature and daily life related uh, scenes because both subjects are beautiful and full of peace and simplicity. Like if I get a chance, I would draw a village scene because it is, as I mentioned earlier, it is full of peace and simplicity.
That is the end of your speaking part one. Now we will continue our speaking part two. In this
Yes.
section, I will show you a cue card. You will have 1 minute to think about your answers, and you will get 1 to 2 minutes to talk. I will tell you when to start and when to stop. If it's necessary, you can make some notes as well. Here is the note paper, and here is the pen, and your cue card topic is describe a work of art that you really like. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Okay, start your speaking.
So, in my entire life, I have seen several types of paintings. Among of them, I'm going to talk about a work of art that I really like most. To commence with, the name of the art is a fruit illustration. It was painted by my aunt named Sheikh Biti. Uh, it shows a variety types of fruits in the basket, and when I saw it at first, it caught my attention. In addition to this, I saw it at first at my aunt's house in the dining room where it was hanging on the wall. Most importantly, as it's a fruit illustration, there are several types of fruits painted, including bananas, guavas, watermelons, strawberries, and so on. And my aunt told me that she painted it herself. Furthermore, she learned the techniques from her teacher, whose name was Mr. Mohan, who was also my teacher when I was in school, and he taught me about the painting. Moreover, there there are some obvious reason why I think that particular painting is in I like most. First and foremost, it inspired me a lot to learn about more paintings. Another important point is that uh, I was enthralled by the fine work and design of this particular painting. What's more, every time I look at this picture, I feel the overwhelming joy of creation, human race, and divinity. Last but not the least, this painting created in such a way that made it more beautiful and nice. That's what I can share with you
Okay,
guys.
I'll stop you there. Give me the cue card.
Please.
Thank you. Put this paper right here.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Let's continue with speaking part 3 related with your response.
Okay.
In your opinion, is art an important part of culture?
Well, I believe art is a crucial part of the culture because it represents a country's values and uh, traditions. For example, in Bangladesh, we have Nokshikata and folk art that tell us about the village life.
Okay. What would life be like without art?
To be honest, I believe without art, life would be dull. Because there would be no color, feelings, or creativity. For example, without music, painting, cities and homes would look so boring.
Why do you think people like to have paintings in their homes?
In my opinion, I believe that people love to keep paintings in their house because it makes their house so beautiful and gives a calm peace and feeling. For example, one of my cousin named Sanjat, he also has a couple of paintings in his house, and he says that it makes him to feel relaxed.
Okay. Do you agree with this statement like graffiti is a form of art and should be respected?
Uh, Yes, I always agree with this statement, but when it is done legally, uh, graffiti can be more creative and meaningful. But writing on the wall without anyone's permission, it is wrong. For example, last January when I went to Dhaka, I saw a graffiti wall where the artists painted some messages about the environment, and it looked beautiful.
Okay. Why do you think people create graffiti?
Well, in my opinion, I think people we want to express themselves because graffiti is a kind of a way where the people or the artists show their creativity, thoughts, and ideas. For example, uh, artist who painted on the wall, that's we call the graffiti, he or she can share or talk about the social problems and raise the awareness.
Okay. Who do you think should pay for public works of art?
Well, I believe the government should to pay about the public work, because if it is done, the local area as well as the public place would look so beautiful than before, and people can enjoy it. For example, in the national park that we have in Dhaka, there are some beautiful sculptures funded by the city council.
That is the end of your speaking portion. You will get your marks within 1 to 2 days on our Facebook page or YouTube channel. So bye
Okay.
for now. Have an awesome rest of your day. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.